Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the EZtransition Customer Journeys podcast. I'm your host, Darren Cato, and our co-host is here, Maria Elisa Tabai. In this podcast, we're going to talk about how you can grow your business by focusing on your customer journey, which aligns marketing, sales, and customer service. In this specific episode, we're going to talk about why you should visualize your business as a flywheel. Okay, Maria. So first of all, did I say your name correctly?
Yeah, almost. It's
Almost.
Maria Elisa Turbay. It's in Spanish, so I know it's a bit difficult, but yeah, you're getting there.
Okay, I took like 3 years of Spanish. I should. Okay, so okay, so we have lots of other episodes where I will get it right. I promise. So let's talk about this flywheel thing, right? So why should we visualize our business as a flywheel?
Yeah, and I think it's a very interesting topic and a good one to start our second episode. But first, I think we should talk about like more in depth about what is a flywheel, and then we can start talking about why we should all think of our businesses as a flywheel. So, do you want to tell us a bit more about what it means?
What is a flywheel? Well, do we want the technical definition of a flywheel? So a flywheel is this machine that stores rotational energy, right? So it's kind of hard to explain over a podcast since you can't see anything. But think of a flywheel as a big circle. You're spinning it, and then as it spins, it gains more momentum, and it keeps spinning faster and faster and faster, and faster, right? So in the center of your flywheel, you have your rotational energy, which as you spin gets faster, right? So the idea is that we need to visualize our business using this model. And typically we visualize our business using funnels, right? So our sales and marketing using funnels. So you pour something in the top of the funnel. So you're gonna have leads. You pour your leads in the top of the funnel, you got a bunch of leads, and then kind of in the middle, you shake it up, you do something so that they will actually come out to the bottom. And you're gonna have like a few of them come out at the bottom, right? So you can use reputation management, which is a service that EZtransition offers, to affect new customers coming into the top of your funnel. You might get repeat business. There are multiple ways you can, your customers who are coming out the bottom of the funnel can affect the top of the funnel, right? So we need a new way to visualize, how we do business. Did I get that mostly right?
No, yeah, I think I totally agree. And it's important to realize that our businesses are not just funnels anymore, right? So we have to keep them going. And if we visualize it as a funnel, it's going to get to a point where we just like have an end. And the idea is that, as Darren was saying, we just get our customers that had a good experience, feed more customers into our processes. So they're going to be able to talk about us and their good experience with us. And then they're going to like kind of invite and become advocates of our brand and of our companies and then attract more customers. And in this way, like all customers can feed the wheel and bring us in more customers.
Yeah. So let's use some specific examples. All right. So one of the services we offer here at EZtransition is that we help manage your reputation. So for example, what people say about you, word of mouth, what they say about you online, Google My Business, Facebook. So when a customer comes into your business and they, pay for your services and you service them, are you offering them the right thing? Well, first of all, are they getting a great customer experience, right? So that's a no-brainer. We got to make sure that they're getting a great customer experience every single time they interact with you. Then, if you go further up, it's like, were they even, if they didn't get a great experience, why? Why is that, right? Were they even the right fit to begin with? Were they, maybe not your ideal, target customer, but you said, you know what, I need the money, I'm going to service them anyway, and it ends up being a bad experience. This is not necessarily anything that was wrong with your process. Your process just wasn't a good fit for them. And now, they're not happy, you're not happy, right? So it's important to like look all the way up and say, okay, you know what, just make sure we qualify these customers before we actually, provide service to them, right? Because at the end of the day, you want them to say good things about you so that they can affect new customers to come into your pipeline, right? I kind of went off track there, But but that's really why the flywheel is important. So let's kind of dig into, the different stages in the flywheel. It's not really stages because it's a wheel, but we talk about marketing, sales, and service. We think these are the three cornerstones of any business. You get these three things right, and then any business is going to thrive, right? Of course, you got to do the incidental stuff like accounting and whatever. But to actually run the business, you need service, marketing, right? You get these three things right, that's going to work. So in the flywheel, and again, we're getting a lot of stuff heavily influenced from HubSpot. We are HubSpot agency partners. So the very first thing you want to do is attract customers. So this is where your marketing comes in. You're attracting as many customers, as many leads as possible, right? The next step is to engage them. This is your sales process. And then the final stage is to delight them. This is your service. So this is when you're actually doing the work, and then also how you're following up and even after the work is done, right? So the more you feed those three areas, they sort of feed each other. Your marketing kind of flows into your sales flows into your service, and your service flows back into your marketing, right? So that's what we mean by a flywheel. The other thing is, as you get more customers into this is when the fly. I mentioned, the rotational energy, right? So the momentum. As you get more customers into this system, you actually have to do less marketing because these customers are starting to, recommend you word of mouth, or just maybe walking around wearing your t-shirts and your logo, right? So the more customers you get into the system, and the better you treat them, the more they become advocates for your business, right? That's very, very important to look at your business that way, and look at every customer as somebody who is going to be a brand ambassador and an advocate for your business. Maria, do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, I think you summarized that very well. And I think it's really important to have like a greater picture of the flywheel, because in this way we can just think about it as a whole and not just as separate marketing activities or sales processes or customer service processes, but rather like think about everything together. And when I'm thinking about how I'm going to attract those customers, I have to think about, okay, are they going to enjoy the experience because they are the right target for me? And are they going to really become an advocate if they have a good experience, or are they not qualified and are they not going to have a good experience, and this can impact me? So I think it is really important to think about it as a whole, and as you said, Darren, just how to use the different stages to fit the next one, right? And think as a whole, and how my marketing is going to work together in my sales processes and my customer service. So I think it's really important to just again think about it as a whole and see like how I can integrate each step with the next one, so it really works as a flywheel and not just like separate activities.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So I guess the next question is, so we've traditionally thought about our business as funnels for so long, sales funnels and marketing funnels. Should we throw that all away, or is that still useful?
That's a very good question. And I think in the like last years we have experienced a lot of change with the digital space and in marketing especially. And but I think it is really important to also keep in mind that things are constantly changing, and I don't think we should throw away the concept of the funnel. But rather like make it clear, like, yeah, we have to fit it. And I like that part of the funnel, like we have to fit the funnel, and it's not going to just, yeah, bring me customers just because. But I also think it has to be complemented with the flywheel model. And I think realistically, as the market has changed, businesses have to change with it, and this is why it is relevant to think about it as a flywheel rather than a funnel, if that
Right.
makes sense.
Right, right. So the other thing is that, funnels are still important, right? Because at the end of the day, you're not going to sell to everyone that comes into that's a lead. You're going to have leads, you're going to have to qualify them, you're going to have to filter them out, which is where the funnel really becomes important. And I think what we can do is that we can have several mini funnels in every stage of the flywheel. So we got our marketing funnel, which feeds into our sales funnel, which feeds into our service funnel, right? So even service is a funnel. We have charts that actually look like funnels. If you look at your sales chart, you could see, okay, I got this many people, I made this many phone calls, I booked a meeting with this many people, and then I actually sold this many people. So it's always gonna, even your charts are gonna look like a funnel where you have a big number of people, middle number, smaller number, right? But then when you move that final number of customers into the service portion, if you have a kickoff call, how many of them are actually showing up for your kickoff call, right? And if it's not the same, then we're wondering like why. It's like we're offering them this service. Maybe there needs to be something done on the sales side to entice people to show up for the kickoff call. And actually, like in our case, we do a lot of web design stuff. So just getting people to give us designs or pictures or text or something, it's always a hassle. Anybody who has a web agency will tell you that's the hardest thing to get from customers. So that affects the service. So we can look at that funnel and see like, okay, how many people are actually giving us stuff and how many people are not, and how does that lead to the project being done on time? And we could say, okay, well, what can be done, higher up in the sales funnel or in the sales cycle to actually make that happen. Maybe the salesperson can discuss that early on to say like, look, you have a 90% chance of finishing your project on time if you were to provide these documents, when we request it, right? And that may trigger something to have them think, oh yeah, I definitely need to get this done because I need my project done at the time. So yeah, looking at these sales graphs are really important, or these funnel graphs are really important in making decisions in your business. And it's great for the micro view, but for the macro view, where you're looking at your entire business, looking at these three pillars, like I mentioned, sales, marketing, sales, and customer service, we'll be seeing that a lot. Marketing, sales, customer service. If you're looking at the entire thing, it's very valuable to look at that and think of that as a flywheel. All right.
Yeah,
So,
no, I
Maria, do you
totally
have any?
agree. So, yeah, I have another question. What advice would you give me as a business, like a starting business? How do I get into the flywheel? Because I come from a structure of funnels. How do I come with start with my flywheel process so I make sure it is an entire process and not just mini ones?
Oh, that's a good question. So, I mean, we're probably doing it anyway, right? No matter what you're doing, you're still doing some marketing, some sales, some customer service, and it's probably happening. People are recommending you. This is happening without you, right? But the problem is, like everything else, if you don't measure something, you tend to not get the best results. So once we start thinking about it that way and we start measuring, we start putting tools in place, like HubSpot provides great tools for that. If we provide tools to see the data, right, and see how things are going from one step to the next step to the next step, then that's the way we grow. We're really all about growth in here. And then a key to growth is actually measurement, right?
Yeah,
If I
right.
measure, yeah, if I measure my process, I guarantee you your process will magically grow, right? Because you will start finding questions that you have to answer for yourself, right? And say like, okay, well, wait a minute, why is it dropping down over here? And then you'll be like, okay, well, let's see what's going on, what's causing this, and then you're going to start putting processes in place. So measuring is a really good tactic to effect change.
Great, yeah. So we start with goals, of course, and then if we know what we want to accomplish, then we can start setting some key indicators that will allow us to understand if we are doing okay or we're not, and then just measuring and improving. And that would be like the first step to start my flywheel process, right?
All right, so I think this is a great place to stop. If you need more information about how to visualize your business as a flywheel or any information on how to improve your reputation management online, give us a call or send us an email at info@EZtransition, or just reply on any medium where you found this podcast, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're pretty much everywhere. So if you like this episode, feel free to like and subscribe, and go ahead and share it with somebody else. All right. Thank
Great.
you, everyone.
Thank you, Darren.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, okay. Bye. Have a great day, guys.
Goodbye.